Alrighty, so we are on Gon's account today, and we are going to be doing Nidhogg with the new LR Elizabeth, because he has her, of course, day one. Disclaimer, before we hop in, there's going to be a few differences from my own account. I'm not going to mess with any of his links or anything, because this is what he already had set. Normally, I would try to make sure that my Freya is like lowest HP, and I would try to make sure that she has Tarmiel link and everything on. I'm just going to go with what he had. He actually still had red or green Elizabeth on the team, so I'm just going to literally one-for-one swap it here. I've made sure that we're all good on gear from my understanding, so we have HP defense on these two, and then attack crit on the main two damage dealers, so I'm hoping that it'll be fine. I don't have a really high duped Mael. Mine's only 4/6, so I don't have the gray debuffs or anything like that when I use Mael, so this could be interesting, because his is obviously 6/6, so he's getting, extra damage reduction, and their gray debuffs and everything like that, so it really helps a lot. Can't wait for them to bring Mael back for a banner, finally, but just to show you what we're dealing with here, he doesn't need the mats for this. He's got 113 of these already, and let me scroll past the immense amount of just SA coins, and he has tons of SSR bits down here, but he has 275 of the red crystals, so it's not like he even needs this to be done, but either way, I'm going to do it for testing purposes, because obviously you guys probably want to see the new red Liz. So, let me hop in. We're going to just go bare bones, try to mess around with it a little bit. Hopefully I don't get too bad of RNG, and this is hopefully a smooth-ish run. If you're new to the channel, by the way, or, you haven't subbed or anything by now, feel free to subscribe. We're, doing content every single day. You can mess around. Obviously, I don't expect you to watch every single video or anything like that. And hey, if it gets boring, unsubscribe. Understandable. I don't stay subscribed to people that I don't watch, so I would not blame you in the slightest. But either way, let's hop into this thing. So normally I can get away with doing something like this on stage 1, and then I'll just waste that because I don't really care. This first phase is normally pretty easy. The biggest thing that concerns me is phase 3, floor 2, or floor 3, phase 2. Because there's a lot of like huge damage that goes on there, and if they target the same character too much, then it's going to be a really big issue, but we'll see how it goes. I don't know. If we end up getting super far into this thing, I might not force the run. I definitely will be doing more like messing around with the character and everything like that once they hit global, of course, but or like not global, sorry. Once I am able to get the character, I am at 65 coins now after week 1 of the Heroes Arena, and that was with me doing Champion this week instead of Challenger, because Challenger seems pretty rough this week with Tier being in the rotation now, and it's just it's a lot of work. So I'm kind of just chilling, doing my own thing, messing around with it at my leisure, and messing around with the lane and everything like that. So yeah, we're gonna be messing around with Elizabeth for now on Gon's account. So yeah, if there's anything cool going on, I'll try it out. Obviously, this isn't my account for if you haven't put that together by now, so I'm gonna try to. Ooh, is this gonna kill me? Okay, that does kill me. Maybe I should have put up the damage reduction. That was maybe stupid on my part. Alrighty, I'm back to phase 2. I went ahead and gave her Tarmiel link just in case, and I put Tarmiel on triple defense gear just so that way, hopefully, she has the lowest HP and she can tank and everything like she does on mine. I don't know if that's going to mess him up or not, but I'll try to remember to change it back before I get off. But I forgot to go over what the character does, of course. So if you are unaware, in PvE battles, allies' basic stats increase by 6% up to 30% whenever the hero heals an ally. The hero's ultimate move gauge fills by 1 orb whenever the hero uses a skill. If the hero uses an attack skill, buffs are removed from the enemy before the skill's activation. In all game modes, allies' recovery rate increased by 20% whenever the hero heals an ally, limit of 5 times. So we can max that out relatively quick if we actually attack and stuff with her, so that could be kind of cool. Her main attack card is now a flood card on top of healing, depending on how much damage is dealt, and then her buff card actually increases defense-related stats as well as cleanses, and then on level 3 it actually puts on debuff immunity, which is actually really, really nice. I can't wait to get this character on my own account, to be honest. The ultimate is going to also increase attack-related stats at this point. From my understanding, at level 1, it's 5%, and then it goes all the way up to 30% at 6/6. So, obviously, she still has the same Holy Relic and everything, but... yeah, we should be chilling. Once we get like some of her passive and everything like that sort of going, and we have some good stats and stuff like that sort of, you know, maxed out, we should be basically unstoppable, I would imagine. Not 100% positive on that, but we're going to maybe do something like this, see how the phase goes. So we're taking off all 3 stances because on floor 1 it doesn't really matter. On floor 2, if you remove all stances, I think he gets an attack-related stat, or not. No, it's a damage dealt buff, which is kind of a bad thing. So you don't necessarily want to remove all the stacks off of him, but we should be okay for floor 1. Okay, we get hit there. This is going to. Okay, that's not the extort card actually. And then this is the extort. Actually, we got lucky, I guess, because he extorted last and then didn't attack us. So we can just cleanse that off and heal up, basically, because of Margaret's passive. And then we can go for... I really don't need to go too crazy here. I think what we're going to do is use this, and then I'm going to throw this away. That should be more than enough to kill, I think, because this is going to buff us up. It's going to activate some of Margaret's passive. We get attack-related stats. This is going to remove the extort, which is nice because it removes buffs. This is going to kill, and then we waste the Margaret card. So, looking pretty good so far. Can't really complain. Everything is very normal, of course. There is a damage cap on this second phase. We do already have ultimate in hand, though, so let's maybe go for... Let's go ahead and maybe buff up. We're going to use the level 2 skill here, and then the level 2 skill here, and then I'm going to go ahead and just merge these for this turn, and then we'll heal up, and then hopefully burst the health bar down in the next phase. So, decent damage there, 180 on a level 2. That's with full HP. This should hit damage cap. You don't want to get him below 30%, you don't want to get him below 30%, or else he gains 2 really big attack-related stat buffs. So that is preferably... the way you want to do it, of course. So now we can just basically ult, heal, and then just use a card to finish off here, and then we should pretty much be good to go. So there's that. I guess we technically could cleanse and use that to heal, but not really that big of a deal, so we're going to go with something like this, and then we already have pretty decent cards right here to finish everything off. So the fact that you can see those nice gray debuffs, man, I really want those for my own account. I just need at least 1 copy of Mael to get at least 2 stacks, because I'll be 5/6 at that point. Man, I'm really hoping he's on the next festival banner. That would be really nice, and obviously it depends on RNG, but I really need to pull him as well. So moving into floor 2. Okay, so we're in floor 2. I gotta be careful not to attack buff turn 1, or else it'll remove the immortality buff, which would be really bad. So I think what we're going to do is throw this out like I normally would. Actually, I guess we can just maybe go ahead and use that card, and then we can just do something like this, get him kind of low, and then we can use the next phase, or the next turn, to go ahead and finish things off. He does have a little bit better gear than me, and obviously a lot better box CC buff, so I maybe would have been able to kill there. I'm not 100% positive there. I mean, that's a decent little chunk of health. This is a flood card now, though, so maybe, depending on how soon I can get this character, of course, which should be another 2 weeks or so, I might end up trying to test some things out to see how I can maybe speed run different things. So, I don't know, maybe we'll mess around with that more a little bit in the future, but let's go ahead and... go ahead and merge these, I guess, if I really want to. Well, maybe I shouldn't do that, so that way I can start maxing out more of her passive if possible. But I could push for her ult as well. So let's actually do that. We're going to use this to grab a stack of Freya's passive, and then we will kill this phase off. So we shall see. So that pretty much heals us back up to full. Not quite, but pretty close. That gets us down to 0 HP, and then that removes the buff and kills. So, very nice. I think everybody's at full health. Looked like it anyway. Going into phase 2 here, this is where we have to start removing some stacks, which isn't going to be too bad. Yeah, we're pretty much at full health here. So let's go ahead and remove this, remove that. We are going to... maybe I go ahead and put this on. I guess. I could heal, but I don't really need the heal. He does put the one-turn infect on whenever we remove stances, so we do have to be a little bit mindful of that. If we're going to heal, we need to do it before we take a stance off. We're basically just, we're full health right now. There's no point in wasting a heal on it, and we'll just try to deal some damage here. Mael's card should go or do some pretty good stuff. Yeah, lots of crits. That's very nice, depending on the cards we draw, which look pretty good. I'm glad we're getting some decent Pierce cards from Freya, so I can help build up her passives. We should pretty much be good to go. So I like also the fact that this card removes buffs when you attack, but it's part of the passive, means that if he disables us, we're still going to be able to remove like extort and stuff like that, which is actually really, really nice. So I do want to try to keep that in mind if possible. Let's go ahead and maybe use this to start getting a little bit more of Margaret's passive going. I'm tempted to go ahead and heal just so that way we get some ultimates. I'm not 100% sure if we can kill this phase or not, though. Maybe I go ahead and do this, this, and then this, because we'll have some good ultimates in hand, so I'm not too worried about having to deal damage in the next phase. I'm not 100% sure. I think we'll kill here, though. Mael should go pretty good. Okay, not quite a kill. Will she be able to make up this damage? She does. 192 on a crit. That's actually pretty good. I actually kind of like that. Okay, I can get behind that. That's actually pretty cool. Okay, and then we have the last phase here. If you don't know, in this last phase, I have to keep him below 50%. So we're just going to go ahead and throw this out, I think. Should I? Let's go ahead and use this buff. Go ahead and use this. And then I'm going to... That's going to do... I don't think he has damage cap, so I think that's going to deal the entire health bar. Maybe I just go ahead and... I'm going to use this, ultimate, and then get rid of these two stance removal cards because we don't need them at this point. Actually, I think he does put up a stance at some point, but we might be able to either pull an extra card because we have a good amount of stance cancel potential with this team. Wait, did he have damage cap? I think he did. That was okay. That's my bad. I'm used to the final floor for some reason, I guess. So he does heal a little bit back there. We did get him below 50% though, so he does lose 33%. Sorry, this is obviously a very scuffed, like, on-the-fly sort of run here, but I'm kind of just trying to, I don't know, play the game while also worrying about, thinking about what Liz does and everything at the same time. Very little damage taken because of this ultimate. It's fantastic. It's so crazy how much of a difference it makes, so I'm going to go ahead and do something like this. We could go ahead and remove some of these buffs. They do stack and they're kind of crazy, but I think I might actually just go ahead and cleanse with the Elizabeth here and put some defense related stats on. He basically will be just doing like almost no damage to us, I guess, at that point. So good damage there, even with the two stacks on. I'm pretty sure these are 30% damage reduction stacks, so the fact that we're still doing pretty decent damage through those is nice. We have two flood cards. We have the ultimate, which is going to do a lot of damage as well. I don't have any Mael cards, unfortunately, so I can't necessarily get his ultimate, but not like I really need to. I have stance cancels in hand. I can't remember if this phase stances or not. It doesn't look like it does, so I'm not even really that worried about it. I guess we're going to go ahead and do something like this. I guess technically, I wanted to kind of merge those, but I think I'm going to do something like this instead, so that way I just go for big hand space here, because this will cleanse. We don't have to worry about that. It'll also put a level 2 buff on us, so that way when he ults here, it shouldn't deal crazy damage or anything like that. We crit on the ultimate, which is nice, so that should end up ticking him pretty much right back down to 0, I would imagine. Or depends on how much he heals. Okay, he healed pretty much, or a pretty good section there because he has 3 of these buffs on at this point, but should be fine. We're still taking very little damage. Explosion actually not going too crazy there. The fact that this Liz has a cleanse on level 1 instead of whereas like using the green Liz, which was what I'm used to, she has a cleanse on level 2s, or you have to have a Margaret cleanse in hand, which is kind of interesting. We still have Margaret buffs on a couple of these characters, so I'm going to use the Liz one here. I think we'll go ahead and use this ultimate. Well, yeah, well, we might as well, because it's going to heal us back up to full, and then we finish the phase off here, actually. So everything's looking pretty good, honestly. We should be moving straight into the final phase here. The final floor. The final floor is where I have the most trouble, just because of phase 2, and then if RNG's really bad, phase 3 can kind of screw me a little bit. But I'm interested to see how it works with this setup. So moving on. Alrighty, so we are in the final floor now. I'm gonna do the normal setup that I do, because I still you would think that I would take the time to learn the mechanic, but I still don't know how to do this phase without just absolutely one-shotting it. So we're just gonna go with the one-shot sort of team, or strategy here, because I can't remember what the actual mechanics are, but I know that if you don't, like, if you deal with it too much and you attack too many times or something like that, you get attack sealed, and there's a whole mess of, like, just trouble that comes along with it. So just one-shotting it and then just hoping for the best kind of it tends to be the way that I go about it nowadays. So in this phase, you want to try not to take off too many stances at one time, or else you are going to be in a little bit of trouble. So I think what we're going to do is maybe use this as well. You do want to try to remove at least the first stance, because that damage taken, or that damage dealt buff that he has is pretty troublesome, I gotta say. So we're going to try to get rid of that. We pulled some decent cards here as far as damage goes, so we might actually be able to whittle him down a pretty decent amount here. We do have to worry about the fact that Mael's ultimate does have stance cancel, so that's going to increase his bar as well. So we need to be a little cautious, but I think we'll be okay, hopefully. So, let's go ahead. What is it about her passive that gives you ultimate move gauge orbs? So the hero's ultimate move gauge orbs fills up by 1 orb whenever the hero uses a skill. So let's go ahead and maybe throw this on. I'm going to go ahead and heal, so that way we get our ultimate, and hopefully that'll heal up Margaret, or Freya, a little bit. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and waste both of these Mael cards just for damage, because the problem that I normally have with this phase is if he ultimates and then double attacks, his ultimate extorts the entire team, so he gains a ton of stats, and it ends up being a whole mess, and I normally can't survive it. So we're going to see how it goes. I'm not super confident in it, but we're going to hope for the best here. We do have 2 darkness stacks on us, which is not ideal, and we're going to end up getting a 3rd one because I can't seem to pull another card, so that also sucks. He is ultimate into 2 attack, so we're just going to stance cancel. Hopefully the damage reduction will help us out a bit. I'm going to go ahead and merge these, heal up, and then put this damage reduction on as well. The ultimate itself isn't normally the problem as far as damage goes, but if I get extorted and then he, attacks twice and it hits really hard, Tarmio Link is not going to be able to save me. So let's see how it goes. Honestly, if we could get a level 3 Liz card and go for debuff immunity, it would be fantastic. But that's probably, oh my god, yeah, we're not living that. I think the 3 darkness stacks here really screwed me. I'm gonna have to reset on that one, even with the damage reduction. Man, it's crazy. Alrighty, so we're back to this point where he has the ultimate. Luckily, he's doing 1 attack afterwards. I am going to end up getting 1 stack of the darkness from not having a Freya card here, which is unfortunate. But there's nothing I can do about it. I did end up using an extra stance cancel card, too, to avoid putting a darkness on, which might have been better to save it for this turn, to be honest with you. But we're going to end up giving him a little bit of extra bar, which might end up being a problem here. So let's go ahead and put the defense-related stat. Well, actually, I guess we just go ahead and ult, use this, go ahead and put this on, and then I guess we'll throw out the... If we throw out the heal, we should get more recovery rate, which means that we should heal back more from the Tarmio Link, I think. I think that's how that works, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong on that, but We're going to see. He might end up removing a decent amount, or he might remove my buffs right here. Oh, he hits Margaret for whatever reason with the first card. I guess that's not super uncommon. Whenever he does like one attack, ultimate one attack, he normally hits my Elizabeth first and then hits Freya. So that's really weird that he went for that. It didn't take as much damage there, so that was kind of nice. Luckily, I have a cleanse. If we didn't have a cleanse, we really needed to have a an Elizabeth card there, so that way we can make sure to get rid of the extortion, because that was going to fry us, actually. Let's go for all of these ults, and then maybe go ahead and use this one as well to give us some more ultimate move gauge, as well as that should remove a decent amount of the bar. I'm not 100% sure if this is going to work how I think it's going to, but for some reason, a lot of the times when I end up getting the bar really low, the Abyss ends up killing even without the bar being at 0. It did not do it this time, so that's very interesting, but as long as we don't have to use a stance cancel here, which I'm not 100% sure if we do or not, he is putting a stance on, so that's unfortunate. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get away with it or not, because we don't have the buff one up here, unfortunately. RNG can be a little stingy with this one, but we're going to use this, and then I guess use this. Unfortunately, that's probably going to raise our bar a bit, and we're going to have to whittle him back down some, but hopefully we can see how it goes. We might be able to get closer to Freya's ultimate again. So now we have the buff one, which is unfortunate. I guess maybe I should have used the stance cancel and then the buff, but I guess it just kind of is what it is. So we're just going to have to end up stalling here for a little bit. Luckily, as we stall, we are going to be adding up all of these passives and stuff like that, which should hopefully help. He's going to put on another stance at the end of this turn too, which is kind of annoying. Let's go ahead and buff to put more buffs on. We are going to Freya ult, I guess. Yeah, let's go ahead and Freya ult, and then maybe just use some attack cards. So let's go ahead and use these, because I can use the stance cancel card, or the stance cancel ultimate from Mael here. Would have been nice to have that damage reduction, actually, but it's not really anything I can do about it. Hopefully I still live through this, because he's going to ult first, and then... Actually, maybe I should have saved that buff card. I'm really doubting myself here. Sorry, this is really scuffed, but I'm just kind of giving you my thoughts and everything as we sort of go through this. There's the extort. How much damage does this do? It should be fine, I imagine. We have 1 darkness stack on. Okay, still did a pretty good amount. Luckily, we have a cleanse here. I don't know if that's going to kill or not. I don't know if it takes the gauge down as it deals the damage and everything. It kind of scaring me a little bit. But we're going to do something like this, I guess. I think there's a chance this kills, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh, okay, that brought the bar down to 0, actually, because we buffed first. So that actually worked out really nice. So, okay, now we're good. Now, at this point in the final phase, we need to keep him below... if we can get him down below, I think it's 30% every time, then we can take off more of the gauge each turn. So we should have some pretty good cards here, actually. Let's go ahead and ultimate... use this. I'm going to use this. That might be overkill, and then I'm going to waste that. I'm not 100% sure how much the Freya is going to do here, but cards tend to do a lot of damage in this phase, so ultimates and stuff like that are like a surefire way to basically just 100% his bar. Yeah, probably a little bit of overkill on this one. This stance card actually might do okay. 580 on a stance cancel card. It's something to do with this phase, if I'm not mistaken. I think the numbers are sort of inflated on this one, if I'm not mistaken, so... Don't think that these characters normally do that much damage, of course. Plus, we have a lot of like passives and stuff like that built up and everything as well. So, we're pretty much in a pretty good spot here. I think we're going to go ahead and use this. That's going to give us Elizabeth's ultimate because we gain a gauge. This will take down the entire bar. I'm going to waste this. I'm going to merge this. And then we can just keep whittling it down like this and we'll be okay. The only thing you really have to worry about in this phase is making sure that you're doing enough damage, of course. And then when he uses the ultimate, he puts on like 6 ignites per character, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember exactly how many it is, but it's a lot of ignites, which means that every attack after that is going to deal a pretty good amount of damage. So you got to be a little careful there. You don't want to, you know, not have a cleanse or anything after he puts the ultimate on you. But you know, sometimes RNG can be cruel with that. So let's go ahead and let's use this. He's already... Dude, the Abyss literally brought him back down to 0. It's insane. I'm going to save the heal, I guess, because that's going to heal us back a little bit. We're going to waste something. Should we even waste anything? We can move for Freya's ultimate, I guess. Or like, we're literally just stalling because we did so much damage. It's actually insane. I mean, I don't know. It's not... The cards that you get and everything with this team, it's not too difficult to bring his bar all the way down, but literally we did so much damage in one turn that the following turn we just didn't even have to do anything. So that's actually pretty crazy. So the Abyss goes off. He's still at 0, so we don't even have to worry about doing damage this phase either. We'll just go ahead and take the stance off, because why not, I guess. Move this, get our ultimate back, I guess. We're literally like this makes the final phase look like chump change. Like, obviously you still need a cleanse and everything, but like actually insane how much damage we did. Crazy. I'm I'm kind of baffled by that. So we get our ultimate back. He's at 0 gauge now. He does full heal. He's gonna gain an all stats buff, which can be a little bit annoying. But with the damage that we have, like, I genuinely don't think we're going to have any issues here, so let's see how it goes. Oh, he doesn't even gain the all stats because he still has this stack on. That's kind of crazy, actually. This stack suppresses the demonic beast. Okay. I don't really understand why that didn't go away, to be honest. Like, I don't know the mechanics well enough to tell you why that happened, but we should be able to do more than enough damage with these cards, I imagine. And then we're pretty much good to go. Yeah, that one does 1.4, so 4.3 million on the on the Freya there, and that's all 3 floors. It took me 33 minutes basically, which isn't too bad. Honestly, it wasn't too different from the Green Elizabeth run that I have. Even the Mael stacks weren't helping as much as I was kind of hoping they were. Obviously, we were able to sort of, you know, tank a little bit more and everything like that, but that floor 3 phase 2 is always where the trouble lies with my runs, and it still ended up getting me once with Gon's account here. So I'm not 100% sure how much of a difference it's going to make. Obviously, like, Green Liz is kind of the weakest link on the whole team, so it could definitely help you to get this LR for sure if you have trouble with Nidhoggr and you want to start working on those relics. I definitely think that she's a good option, but I have to say, like, personal opinion, like, definitely did well, but it wasn't, like, groundbreaking compared to what we already have. But that might be, I don't know, there might be some bias in there. It might be the fact that this was just way easier on his account, too. I don't know. It didn't feel too different from what I normally do. So either way, tell me your thoughts and opinions on the character, of course. Hopefully this was helpful in some way, enjoyable, informative, whatever you needed it to be. But that is pretty much it from me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the new LR. We're going to mess around with her in PvP and stuff like that in later videos, so stay tuned for that. And I will see you guys later on. So thank you so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe, of course, and I will see you later.